Well, after tonight's UFC fights in Tulsa, I think a few of the weight classes are going to be all shook up. But let's take you through the fights in the order they occurred and break it on down. We start on the Fight Pass with a prelim bout, Wilson Hayes defeating Joby Sanchez, and not a popular decision, 29-28 across the board. Crowd was in favor of Sanchez, but it did not go their way. And then after that, we had the returning Killer Ben Saunders defeating Chris Heatherly with an omoplata submission. And Eddie Bravo was in his corner too, so just imagine that. He got the omoplata from Rubber Guard with Eddie Bravo in his corner. How about that? Then, in the Battle of Nicknames, we had the Crowbar Matt Hobar versus the model Aaron Phillips, and the Crowbar got the unanimous decision 29-28 across the board. After that, Beneil Dariush defeated Tony Martin with an arm triangle choke at 3:38 of the second round, an impressive finish. The main event of Fox Sports 2 was a welterweight tilt between Magny and Alex Garcia, and Magny got the decision here 29-28 and 3:27 times 2. Although I honestly thought it would have been 29-28 across the board because I didn't think that Magny dominated all 3 rounds, but what are you going to do? We move on to the main card, which, other than one fight, was just loaded up with finishes tonight. We open with Skelly defeating Niinimäki at Featherweight via rear naked choke submission 2:35 of the first round. He looked very good in this fight. Niinimäki just never seemed to have any defense for Skelly on the ground. Even when he reversed the takedown, Skelly actually made it worse by reversing it right back. Then, at lightweight, Vick defeated Valmir Lazaro in the only decision fight of the main card, 29-28, 3:27, 29-28. And this one I actually would have given Vick all 3 rounds. I mean, a couple of the rounds were close, but Vick was landing all of the power shots, and even though Lazaro has a hell of a chin, it was pretty clear that Vick was doing the damage in this fight. Speaking of doing the damage, Max Holloway just clocked Clay Collard over and over again. But this guy wouldn't fall down. He's not from Korea, so we can't call him the Korean Zombie, but maybe we can call Clay Collard the Utah Zombie. I actually like that nickname better than Cassius Clay Collard. As Peppermint McFatty said on Twitter, it takes a lot of balls to have that nickname, Cassius Clay Collard. But balls didn't help him here because Max Holloway finally hit him enough times that he fell. It took 3 rounds. It took 3 minutes and 47 seconds, but finally the tree fell, and Blessed Holloway won the bout by TKO. At middleweight, and this is one of the fights that's going to shake up the rankings, Thales Leites proved Francis Carmont is not limitless. In fact, his limit was 20 seconds of the second round when he just got crunched. So down goes Carmont, and possibly down out of the rankings. Thales Leites is going to be on the way up big time. In the co-main event, Jordan Meehan defeated Mike Quicksand Pyle. This one will shake up the rankings too. 1 minute 12 seconds of the first round for the TKO, and Meehan immediately said afterwards he doesn't care who he gets to fight next as long as he's in the co-main event spot because he thinks he's earned it and deserved it. Well, when you knock out ranked fighters, you probably do deserve it, at least on fight night cards. I don't know if he'd be the co-main event on a pay-per-view yet, but he's certainly earned this spot on a Fox Sports 1 card or a UFC on Fox card. I would give it to him on either of those circumstances. And in your main event, and this one is going to be the shocker for everybody, Rafael dos Anjos defeats Benson Henderson by TKO. It was the most devastating punch I've ever seen Benson Henderson get hit with. He was getting up off the fence, and he got creamed with a left. It wobbled his legs. He fell to his ass. He was done. He didn't know where he was. He couldn't defend himself. He tried to argue with the stoppage, but he couldn't stand up straight after the fight. When you're that wobbly on your legs before and after you get knocked down, you were knocked out. I don't care if he thinks he was conscious. I don't care if he thinks he was alert. He was out. Rafael dos Anjos stuns the crowd, and Benson Henderson was something like a minus 450 favorite, so stunned the odds makers as well. and stunned the Wrestling Observer panel because all 10 of us across the board all picked Benson Henderson. Nobody had the foresight to think that Dos Anjos could do this. So what happens next now for Rafael dos Anjos? Does he move up to number 1? Does he take Benson Henderson's spot? Does he get the title shot after the winner of Pettis and Melendez? Well, time to go fill out my rankings for Wrestling Observer, and we'll see where I put him, but I don't know what everybody else is going to do. That remains to be seen. Signing off, Stevie J.